Greetings, Elderly Vegan here, and welcome to my video on health and fitness. In this video, I have a couple demonstrations, and I will also want to share with you some of my best reference books on nutrition. In addition, I'll give you a quick rundown of my weekly exercise routine, and this will be followed by a whirlwind tour of all the foods I include in my daily nutritional program, along with a brief description of their nutritional benefits. First up, however, are my two demonstrations of upper body strength. As unlikely as this may seem, I'm frequently setting new personal records for upper body strength on a regular basis. And my first demonstration involves push-ups. And if my memory serves me correctly, I used to be able to do about 40 when I was in my early 20s, which was pretty respectable as I recall. Well, let's fast forward a half a century and see how many I can do now. Okay, here we go. Well, that went well. I counted 70. I'll be back as soon as I'm able to talk. Well, that certainly was a marked improvement. And as it turned out, you've just witnessed a 74-year-old not only meet, but exceed the push-up requirement for 5 separate branches of special forces in the U.S. military. They include the Army Rangers. Their requirement is 49 push-ups. The Green Beret, also 49. The Navy SEALs, 50. The Army's Elite Delta Force, 57. And the Air Force Warhawks, 65. And keep in mind, the Elderly Vegan will be 80 years old in just 6 more years. And now for my second demonstration. I think you will find this one most interesting, if not borderline insane. I'm going to see if I can pass the Army Rangers pull-up requirement, which is a rather modest 6 pull-ups. But this is where the insanity part comes in. I say this because I will have a 25-pound weight tethered to my waist as I do these pull-ups, and I can guarantee you this isn't going to make them any easier. But for this next demonstration, I'm going to be told I will be dissolved from this current location and be reassembled at the local gym, at which point I should be all suited up and ready to go. Then once finished, I will again be dissolved and reassembled back here. I've never been dissolved like this before, but I've been told it isn't going to hurt a bit. Well, we'll see. Alrighty then, here we go and let the dissolving begin. Well, it looks like Grampy missed it by one, but there's always next year. But what about cardiovascular fitness? How does the elderly vegan stack up in this category? Well, I don't really have a quick demonstration, but what I can relate to you is one of the very best indicators, and that is your resting heart rate. And as you attain a greater degree of fitness, your pulse will come down when you're at complete rest. My resting heart rate has been averaging up from 44 to 50 beats per minute over the last year. And after looking at age-related charts on the internet, it seems that my resting heart rate actually qualifies for the athlete category. That is, the athlete category for males ages 26 to 35. However, just because a person's in excellent shape doesn't necessarily mean they also have excellent health. With this in mind, I've been receiving stellar results with regard to some of the most problematic health problems in this country today. And by this, I'm referring to my average blood pressure readings, my fasting glucose, my cholesterol levels, as well as tests for silent inflammation. Again, all those tests have been coming back with excellent results. And keep in mind, I've never been on any prescription medication for any form of chronic disease in my entire life. But as mentioned in my introduction, nutrition looms large in my health and wellness program. And since nutrition plays such a key role in optimal health, I thought it might be worthwhile to show you some of the books which have formed the foundation of my health and wellness program for over the last 20 years. And in this regard, none have been more influential than the Encyclopedia of Natural Medicine by naturopathic physicians Dr. Michael Murray and Dr. Joseph Pizzorno, as well as the Encyclopedia of Healing Foods, also by Murray and Pizzorno. These two massive works are by far the most comprehensive treatment of a well-rounded approach to a healthy lifestyle I've ever encountered. But there are many worthwhile books on nutrition. I've just recently read Dr. Michael Greger's New York Times best-selling book, How Not to Die, as well as his latest book, How Not to Age, which was just released at the beginning of this year. How Not to Age provides the very latest research on longevity. And from the information I've learned in this book, I have added several foods to my daily nutritional program because of their connection with longevity. In addition, I just started reading another New York Times best-selling book, Young Forever by Dr. Mark Hyman. I'm looking forward to learning more about this newest addition to my collection of health-related books. However, when it comes to maximizing health and vitality, it's far better to fly on two engines than just one. And by this, I'm referring to a well-rounded program of physical activity in addition to healthy choices in food. And in this regard, I spend about 2.5 hours per week engaging in resistance training, and about the same amount of time for cardio workouts on my stationary bike. And make no mistake, my workouts are intense. And finally, I participate in a 1-hour yoga class each week, and I do this for flexibility and balance. And this rounds out my weekly workout program. But when I'm not working out, I'm definitely not sedentary. I live on a 5-acre property with hilly terrain, and when I engage in either routine maintenance or projects like recontouring a 61-degree slope into a 44-degree slope with nothing but third world hand tools, you can bet I get a workout. That project, by the way, took a total of almost 4 months to complete, and conservatively, I moved over 130 tons of dirt and broken slabs of stone with a pick, a shovel, and a wheelbarrow. I was 72 at the time. But when engaged in outdoor work, I frequently rack up 30,000 steps on my Fitbit watch on busy days. In fact, my watch has informed me on several occasions that I'm an overachiever. Imagine that. But now for my nutritional program. The following begins a tour of what I eat or drink on a daily basis. And given I've been a student of nutrition for over 20 years, I will no doubt be using a lot of terminology which will be unfamiliar to many people. But not to worry, I will explain in just a few minutes. Suffice it to say, all of the following information is my interpretation of what I've learned from the books that I've just shown you, but also from other books I own on health and fitness. I say this because I've never actually taken a single course in nutrition. However, I do have a degree in biology as well as another degree in cytotechnology. Cytotechnology, by the way, involves looking through a microscope with regard to cancer detection. And without a doubt, my educational background has indeed helped me get up to speed on some of the more technical issues involved with nutrition. So in a similar fashion, it would be really helpful if you remembered everything from your high school biology class and then some. If not, the authors will bring you up to speed in plain English. Okay then, I guess the best place to start concerns the quintessential question all vegans get asked. So how do you possibly get enough protein? This last spring, I calculated my average intake of protein, and it came to a whopping 154 grams per day. I get this much from my plant-based protein drinks, all the soy milk I drink, all the nuts and seeds I consume, as well as respectable amounts of lentils, peas, and whole grains. Yet, according to the National Academy of Medicine, my recommended daily intake of protein would only be about 52 grams, not 154. However, that daily recommendation is for sedentary people. As I mentioned a few moments ago, I'm anything but sedentary. Intense strength training actually destroys muscle fibers during a workout. It's in one's recovery phase where excess protein is crucial in order to rebuild all those traumatized muscle fibers. Yet once the rebuilding process is complete, you come back stronger than you were before. And I think it's also noteworthy to mention that I do not consume the standard 2,000 calories per day. My caloric intake is more on the order of 3,600 calories per day. In fact, if I cut back to 2,800, I start dropping weight really quick. And there's another factor involved. Elderly people need more protein to maintain muscle mass. So am I elderly? My t-shirt says I am. And according to the CDC, I apparently am. In fact, it was when the CDC made the proclamation that everyone 70 or older was elderly that gave me the inspiration for the t-shirt I'm now wearing. You know, of course, what this means. If the Navy SEALs ever caught wind of this video, they would have to come to the realization that their push-up requirement is so anemic that even the elderly are capable of exceeding it. Seriously though, from my way of thinking, if you're elderly, you will not be surpassing the Navy SEAL push-up requirement anytime soon. That concept is just too weird for words. Obviously, the elderly vegan may be 74, but he is not yet elderly. But from here on out, I'll be going through a list of virtually everything I include in my diet on a daily basis, along with 1 or 2 health benefits for each food item. And without a doubt, this will be a whirlwind tour. Okay then, fasten your seatbelts and let's see how fast the elderly vegan can rip through this blizzard of technical information I'm about to unleash on you. Most of this will be in alphabetical order, which will give you some idea of how long the blizzard is going to last. But the whole point of the rapid-fire mention of the health benefits is just to give you an appreciation for how important nutrition is with regard to health, vitality, and even longevity. That's all. And furthermore, if you are able to pick up on a few worthwhile bits of information from the blizzard, you too will be an overachiever. Okay, here we go. Again, this is what I eat on a daily basis. Arugula, the premier example of a leafy green which will result in increased levels of nitric oxide in the blood. Nitric oxide dilates blood vessels, and this is really helpful with athletic performance or other situations where reduced blood flow may be an issue. In a similar fashion, beets also raise nitric oxide blood levels. Avocados provide healthy fats which lower LDL and raise HDL. Blackstrap molasses. For a sweetener, blackstrap molasses is a powerhouse of many nutrients including iron, calcium, selenium, and chromium. Coconut oil raises HDL and is classified as a thermogenic food. Thermo as in heat, genic as in to produce. Hence, a thermogenic food is one that instead of converting excess calories into fat storage, it takes those excess calories and converts them into heat production. Fruits, I include blueberries, strawberries, apples, mandarin oranges, and mangoes, all of which provide a varied source of antioxidants. Mangoes, however, also provide a great source of spermidine. Spermidine is associated with longevity by recycling the components of dead and dying cells. And if this recycling process doesn't occur, those dying cells start spitting out pro-inflammatory compounds all over the place. The process of recycling is referred to as autophagy. Garlic, a superstar when it comes to health benefits. It lowers blood pressure, lowers LDL, raises HDL, and exhibits antimicrobial properties. Ginger helps reduce silent inflammation and is helpful for osteoarthritis. Green tea, another superstar for health benefits, it provides what are referred to as polyphenols, which in turn are very important to reduce the risk of cancers, including breast, colon, and prostate. Kale, one of the best sources of lutein and zeaxanthin. Both are key nutrients to prevent macular degeneration and cataracts. Kale's yet another superstar of health benefits. Lentils provide a great source of plant-based protein, as well as cholesterol-lowering fiber. Mushrooms contain a nutrient unique to fungi, and it's associated with longevity. It's called ergothioneine. Ergothioneine functions as a key antioxidant specializing in maintaining the health of one's mitochondria. And mitochondria decline in number and function as we age, so when they are spent, you are no longer among the living, so eat your mushrooms. I also consume walnuts, almonds, pecans, and Brazil nuts. And Brazil nuts are the quintessential source of selenium, which reduces the risk of coronary heart disease and several forms of cancer. Nutritional yeast provides excellent source of B vitamins and minerals, but it's also lowers triglycerides, lowers LDL, raises HDL, and helps stabilize blood sugar. Olive oil lowers LDL, lowers triglycerides, and it too is helpful with blood sugar control. It's also a good source of vitamin E. Pomegranate juice contains anthocyanins which help prevent LDL cholesterol from being oxidized. It's the oxidized form of LDL which is the concern with regard to arterial plaque formation, not LDL cholesterol in its natural unoxidized form. Prunes, among other things, prunes are a rich source of boron, which is key for helping prevent osteoporosis. Boron even helps increase bone density. Raisins are regarded as a superb alkalizing food, and by this they play a key role in maintaining optimal blood pH levels, thus preventing the loss of calcium from bones if calcium is needed to neutralize the effect of too much acid-forming foods in one's diet. Rolled oats, their claim to fame is through cholesterol reduction, and it's the soluble fiber in oats which indirectly inhibits the enzyme involved with making cholesterol in the first place. Seeds. I consume flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, cranberry seeds, and pumpkin seeds. Not only is flaxseed the richest source of plant-based health-promoting omega-3 fatty acids, but ground flaxseed also has another health benefit. Flax seeds are a rich source of what is referred to as sex hormone-binding globulin. This protein binds excess testosterone as well as excess estrogen, and this is very beneficial by reducing the risk of both prostate and breast cancer. Soy milk has many health benefits, but it's most known for its phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens again play a key role in reducing one's risk of either prostate or breast cancer. Turmeric is best known for its anti-inflammatory properties, but my other spices I consume on a daily basis are cardamom, ground cinnamon, black pepper, ground mustard, oregano, thyme, and sage. Suffice it to say, they each have a specific health benefit. Tofu, not surprisingly, its health benefits are very similar to those found in soy milk. It's also a great source of iron and calcium. Veggies. I consume broccoli, sweet potatoes, celery, tomatoes, onions, beets, and peas. These foods contain a wealth of antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals crucial for fighting cancer. In addition, some help lower cholesterol, some help lower blood pressure, and some help regulate blood sugar. All are good sources of fiber. Furthermore, celery contains a phytonutrient referred to as 3NB, which may help dissolve amyloid plaque deposits in the brain, which are an underlying cause of Alzheimer's disease. Whole grains. My list of daily whole grains include amaranth, quinoa, buckwheat, and wild rice. These grains blow wheat clean out of the water when it comes to protein content, vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats. In addition, all these grains are thermogenic. Again, that means excess calories get converted to heat as opposed to fat storage. And in the miscellaneous category, I get daily allotments of antioxidant powders that I add to my smoothies or protein drinks. They include acai powder, maca powder, goji berry powder, cacao powder, and long pepper from India. Also in the miscellaneous category, I add apple cider vinegar to my reverse osmosis water. And last but not least, Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies. Did I just say Little Debbie's? I'm sorry, my mistake. I used to eat Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies when I was just, well, to use a technical term, I was just a baby elderly vegan. I didn't know any better. All I knew was you could take them on an extended camping trip and they would last for days in the backseat of your car. In fact, I believe they could last for years in the backseat of your car. And as I remember it, they were incredibly yummy. In fact, in my opinion, Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies had a taste you could probably die for. And that concludes my rapid-fire whirlwind tour of everything I eat or drink in a single day. As a side note, knowing I eat the same foods every day, someone once told me I was on a mono diet. And then they proceeded to ask, so how do you possibly manage to get enough variety on a mono diet? What can I say? I guess it's kind of like the protein issue in being vegan. Well, at this point, it's time to begin wrapping things up. And this brings to mind a quote I heard many years ago, and I find it encouraging. This may have been a quote from the godfather of fitness, Jack LaLanne, but I'm not sure. It went something like this. No matter how old you are, no matter what shape you're currently in, there's always room for improvement once you begin to lead a healthy lifestyle. And I would also like to add, make the conversion to a healthy lifestyle as though your life depended upon it, because in reality, it does. But thank you for watching my video, and I hope you will agree that wise nutritional choices really do have the potential to form the foundation of radiant health, vitality, and even longevity. I will leave you now with a brief demonstration which is just screaming to be seen because it is so diametrically opposed to one's mental image of an elderly vegan. To use a technical term again, this badass stunt I'm about to do is a new achievement for me as of about 6 weeks ago. And if this isn't a testimonial to what is possible through healthy living, I don't know what is. Check it out, and thank you.